Women don't think about men who are always present. Constant availability makes a man ordinary and forgettable. True attraction isn't built by giving attention, it's built by creating presence, value, and a subtle sense of intrigue. The men who linger in her mind aren't those who chase relentlessly, but those who move with intention, self control, and purpose. When a man becomes rare and deliberate, he occupies her thoughts effortlessly. This is not about manipulation, playing games, or acting inauthentic. It's about understanding human psychology and using presence and absence strategically to become unforgettable. Think of it like a story. The most compelling characters are the ones who leave us wanting more, who make us pause, reflect, and imagine the next scene. That's how attraction works in real life, through subtle triggers, emotional resonance, and a presence that is felt even in silence. In this guide, we'll break down 6 key psychological principles that make a woman think about you nonstop. From controlled absence to emotional imprints, mystery, calm confidence, and living with purpose, you'll learn how to leave a lasting impression without begging for attention. By the end, you'll understand exactly how to become a man who lingers in her thoughts long after you're gone. One of the most overlooked truths about attraction is this: constant presence diminishes desire. Many men mistakenly believe that the more attention they give, the more she will value them. In reality, too much availability breeds familiarity, not craving. When a man is always there, predictable and easy to reach, he becomes ordinary. Desire, on the other hand, thrives in scarcity and controlled absence. Controlled absence is not about ignoring her completely or playing immature games. It's about creating space that allows her mind to notice your presence in your absence. Imagine reading a book and discovering a missing page. The missing piece draws your attention until you find out what's there. The same principle applies to attraction. When you are deliberately less available, her brain starts filling the gaps, wondering about you, thinking about you, and even missing you without you saying a word. Scarcity builds value because human psychology equates rarity with importance. Consider a diamond. It's precious, not because it shines constantly, but because it's rare. If you are everywhere, always responding instantly and constantly at her disposal, you are ordinary. But when you step back intentionally, you become memorable and desirable. The key is balance. Be present enough to show you care and build trust, but absent enough to ignite curiosity and longing. This isn't about punishing her, it's about creating rhythm in your interactions. Thoughtful pauses, selective messaging, and intentional timing all make you stand out. By mastering controlled absence, you give her the space to feel your value, wonder about your life, and invest emotionally without pressure. Desire grows in the gaps you create, and the more she wonders about you, the stronger the pull becomes. This is the foundation of keeping a man unforgettable, not through constant effort, but through deliberate, strategic presence and absence. Women rarely remember what a man says. They remember how he made them feel. 100 men can send good morning texts, but she will forget them all. What she cannot forget are the men who left an emotional imprint, moments that stir her curiosity, joy, or even a sense of awe. This is the difference between fleeting attention and lasting attraction. An emotional imprint can be created in countless ways: a genuine laugh shared over a private joke, a calm and steady presence when she feels upset, or a bold, unexpected gesture that surprises her. These moments don't rely on empty words. They rely on emotion and presence. She may not remember exactly what you said, but she will remember the way she felt in that moment: alive, seen, understood, or intrigued. Think of attraction as memory. Words fade quickly, but emotions linger. When you create experiences that evoke curiosity, joy, or excitement, you stay alive in her mind long after the moment passes. Even mild tension or challenge, handled with confidence and composure, can create emotional resonance. The practical takeaway is simple: stop trying to impress her with constant messages or explanations. Instead, focus on creating memorable moments, moments that trigger feelings stronger than words alone. Whether it's through humor, calmness, boldness, or unexpected kindness, your goal is to make her associate you with a feeling she can't ignore. By leaving emotional imprints, you shift from being just another man in her life to someone irreplaceable in her memory and her thoughts. This is the essence of attraction, not what you say, but the way you make her feel. One of the fastest ways to diminish attraction is predictability. The moment she feels she has figured you out completely, interest naturally fades. Mystery, on the other hand, is magnetic. It makes her lean in, wonder, and even chase mentally, long before any physical pursuit occurs. Mystery is not about lying or being deceptive, it's about strategic self-revelation, sharing enough to spark curiosity, but not so much that she feels she knows your entire story. Think of it like a movie trailer. The best trailers never reveal the ending. They show just enough to captivate, leaving viewers eager for more. The same principle applies to interactions with a woman. Reveal parts of yourself, but leave certain details open for her imagination to explore. Humans are naturally drawn to unfinished stories. When you hold back and do not over-explain, her mind fills in the gaps, replaying conversations, interactions, and shared moments. She starts wondering about your thoughts, your routines, and your life, which keeps you on her mind far longer than any text or compliment ever could. Mystery also adds depth to your presence. It signals confidence and self-possession, traits that are inherently attractive. By being intentionally unpredictable in small ways, such as sharing a story in parts or responding thoughtfully rather than instantly, you maintain her curiosity. Ultimately, mystery is about creating a sense of intrigue, anticipation, and value. When she doesn't feel she has fully figured you out, she continues thinking about you, imagining possibilities, and mentally engaging with your presence. Unlike oversharing, which closes the door on curiosity, strategic mystery keeps it open, and that's the key to being unforgettable. Attraction is not about constant availability, nor is it about vanishing completely. Both extremes, suffocating presence or total absence, reduce desire. The key is controlled presence, showing up intentionally, at the right moments, with the right energy. Quality always outweighs quantity when it comes to staying memorable. Controlled presence is about strategic timing. Instead of texting her constantly, send messages that are thoughtful, meaningful, and memorable. Instead of being available for every call or hangout, choose the moments when your presence will have the greatest impact. When you appear unpredictably, she notices. When you prioritize quality over quantity, she values your time and energy. Think of it like music. A song isn't beautiful because it's constant noise. It's beautiful because of the pauses, the rhythm, the tension between the notes. Similarly, the pauses in your presence, the moments of intentional engagement, create intrigue and desire. She begins to anticipate your interactions, which makes each one more impactful. Controlled presence also signals confidence and self-respect. By being selective with your time, you communicate that your life has direction and purpose beyond her. This makes her respect your boundaries and engage with you on a deeper level, rather than taking your availability for granted. The practical takeaway is simple. Focus on being meaningful, not omnipresent. Appear in ways that leave an impression. Deliver energy, attention, and presence when it matters most. Mastering this balance ensures she doesn't just notice you, she thinks about you, wonders about you, and looks forward to the next time your paths cross. One of the most powerful yet overlooked triggers of attraction is calm strength. Many men mistakenly believe that being agreeable, reactive, or overly accommodating will keep a woman interested. In reality, women are drawn to men who remain steady and unshakable, even in the face of tests, mood swings, or emotional drama. The calm challenge is about showing emotional resilience and composure. When she tries to provoke a reaction through attitude, disagreement, or subtle tests, the way you respond shapes her perception of you. Most men panic, argue, or over-explain. The calm man, however, remains grounded, never allowing his emotions to be controlled by hers. This steadiness generates respect, curiosity, and ultimately, deeper attraction. Think of it as a psychological pull. Women often find themselves thinking about men they cannot control or predict. When you demonstrate calm confidence, she begins to wonder, why can't I get under his skin? Why doesn't he react like the others? That curiosity keeps you in her mind long after any interaction ends. This is not about being cold or distant. It's about showing that your emotions are not negotiable. You can care deeply, be kind, and engage meaningfully, but without losing your balance or seeking validation. By holding your ground calmly, you differentiate yourself from the majority of men who overreact or chase approval. Ultimately, the calm challenge creates a magnetic tension. She is drawn to your steadiness, intrigued by your emotional strength, and compelled to engage with a man who is unshakable yet present. This combination of composure and subtle challenge leaves an indelible impression, making you unforgettable in her thoughts. The most powerful form of attraction goes beyond charm, mystery, or attention. It comes from living a life of purpose. A woman cannot think about a man nonstop if his life revolves solely around her. Men who pursue goals, develop themselves, and live intentionally naturally radiate magnetic energy because their world is larger than any single relationship. Purpose gives a man weight, direction, and presence. When your life is full, career, hobbies, fitness, personal growth, she notices, you are no longer just a man seeking approval. You are a man whose life has meaning, and she wants to be a part of it. This creates admiration, curiosity, and longing. Imagine two men. One waits by the phone, anxious for her messages, ready to rearrange his day around her schedule. The other is deeply engaged in his goals, building a life that excites him and challenges him daily. Which man will she think about? Which man will occupy her imagination and inspire desire? The answer is clear. Purpose-driven men are unforgettable. Living with purpose also signals confidence and independence. She sees that your happiness and fulfillment do not depend on her approval, which paradoxically makes her want to invest in you more. This is attraction at its deepest level. When your life is bigger than her, she can't help but think about how she fits into it, how she complements it, and how she can share in your energy. Purpose is the ultimate trigger because it combines scarcity, emotional impact, mystery, and calm confidence into one living example. A man with direction and focus is rare, engaging, and magnetic. When you live intentionally, everything else, your presence, your interactions, your emotional impact, becomes amplified. In short, purpose creates legacy in thought. It makes you memorable, desirable, and impossible to ignore. If you want a woman to think about you consistently, focus on building a life worth thinking about, one that inspires curiosity, admiration, and longing, long after you've left the room. Attraction is not built through constant effort, empty words, or chasing approval. It is built through psychology, presence, and purpose. By mastering the 6 key principles, you can become a man who lingers in her thoughts long after an interaction ends. Absence creates desire. Controlled scarcity makes you rare and memorable. Emotional imprints make her feel something unforgettable because feelings last longer than words. Mystery, leave parts of yourself undiscovered to spark curiosity. Controlled presence, show up with intention and quality, not quantity. Calm challenge, remain steady and composed, creating respect and fascination. Purpose, live a life bigger than her world, making you magnetic and impossible to ignore. When you implement these principles, you stop chasing attention and start earning her thoughts naturally. She begins to notice your value, reflect on your interactions, and wonder about the man who exudes calm confidence and lives with purpose. Remember, attraction is not about tricks or games. It's about becoming the kind of man whose life, presence, and energy demand attention. Master these 6 principles, and you won't just be remembered, you'll be unforgettable.